So here's my Sunday cheesesteak sandwiches with homemade provolone sauce, and these are fantastic. This is great for just a Sunday afternoon. This is great for, just when you're watching the football games or any kind of sporting. I mean, this is absolutely great. So I make these. Now the first thing I do is I'm going to start getting some of my onions, peppers going right in the pan, and it's a classic cheesesteak. I mean, this is like the way they make it in Philly. It is awesome. All right, so getting some red peppers going in there, some green peppers. There we go. Let's just get those cooking. Now, it takes longer to cook peppers than it does onions, so I always start my peppers first. Get those going in there, and also some sliced mushrooms. So we'll get that all going together. There we go. Now, while that's happening, I've got the onions waiting by, and I'm going to go ahead and season my steak. Now, I'm using a really great ribeye here. Oh, look at that, baby. Season it on both sides. Get some really good looking marbling in here. And I'm going to put a little bit of my herb on here, and I'm using some oregano on both sides. Flip it over. Again, get some really good herb and cracked pepper on there, and let that sit for a minute. Get some marinating on there. A little bit of olive oil. Don't need a lot. I just like it for flavor because there's some marbling. There's a lot of good fat on there, so you don't need a lot of oil on it. That's just for flavor. So I'm going to start tossing my peppers and mushrooms together. And I'll throw when these get about halfway cooked, then I'll throw my onions in. But I want these to cook a little bit. Takes a little longer, like I said, for mushrooms and peppers to cook than onions. Onions cook really fast. The peppers take a little bit longer. And you want to cook your peppers. Peppers are really hard on some people's digestion, so that's why you really want to cook them down. Personally, for me, I can eat raw peppers super easily, but for a lot of people, you really got to cook those peppers down some. And a Philly cheesesteak, definitely got to have some cooked peppers on there and onions. Oh, these look great. Add a little bit more salt to them. Get those nice and cooked. I have it on medium-high because I like a nice high heat when I'm sauteing. And again, you don't want to put mushrooms especially into a pan that's just kind of cool or on low heat, because you really want those mushrooms to get caramelized. You don't want them to sit in a cool pan, because they'll just sit in, really, mushrooms are kind of spongy. They'll just sit in kind of steam instead of getting that really nice caramelization or that browning on them. So definitely need to get these veggies browned. Toss them in, and I'm using my hard anodized pan, as you can see. So this gets really good browning and caramelization on anything, whether it's a piece of fish or chicken or meat, or just really great veggies like I have going on here. There's a big, there's all these big wars that go on between Philly cheesesteak. What's the best Philly cheesesteak? Everybody will argue about that. You got to have a hoagie. I agree with that. You got to use a hoagie bun. What kind of meat you use, how do you slice it, what veggies. For me, this is the way I like to make mine. This is the way I like to eat it. And I love making my homemade provolone sauce, using provolone cheese, and I make it with some egg. Super easy. Egg, a little bit of milk, a little bit of flour just to bind it. And this is always a big winner, especially around football season. Super Bowl, I always make my cheesesteak sandwich. And then sometimes just on a Sunday afternoon, whip it up. Okay, I'm going to add my onions in, get those going. Okay, while those are cooking, I'm going to start making my provolone sauce. So what I've got here is I've got some butter that I've already melted in the bottom. And you can see I have a double boiler. So I've just got some boiling water under this bowl, glass bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some provolone cheese. And this is just diced up provolone cheese that I have in here that I'm going to just get melted with my butter. Okay. Add all that in. And that'll start melting as well in this bowl. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding in, got some egg yolk, some milk, right in there. Whisk that together. And a little bit of flour. Get that a little bit at a time. All right. Let's see how this is going. So I've got this milk and egg mixture here. And my melted provolone cheese with the butter in it. Starting to get really nice and melted. And how are my peppers doing? Let's see here. Oh yeah. Those are doing well. Getting there. And again, I want these nice and brown. I like my onions and peppers. If I'm going to have that on a sandwich, I just want it really good. I want some good steak that's going to be sliced on there, that's got some good salt and pepper on it. And have that in the hoagie with a crisp hoagie bun. And these really great peppers all on top of that steak. And then I want some good provolone cheese just smeared all over the top of it. That's a great sandwich. And it's messy. So, you know, if you're trying to be all delicate and petite, this is not the sandwich for you. You got to get over the sink, or get some lots of paper towels, and just eat it. Get in there and eat it and have fun with it. Yeah, this is what I love. You can start smelling all those aromas coming together. The mushrooms, the onions, everything really, really smelling fantastic. So let's put a little pepper on there. Grated pepper. Maybe a little more olive oil in there, just a little bit to get it going some. Keep the cooking process going. There we go. Get that nice sheen on them. All right. Okay, so that cheese is really nice and melted now. It's starting to really get there. So we're going to want it nice and smooth. Everything's melted together. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to start adding in my liquid here. Start having this really, really come together. Really slowly. Again, adding in my milk and egg mixture, flour mixture into the cheese. Pour it all in. Turn my heat down on the double boiler because I don't want to overcook it as well. I just want to kind of mix this in, let all the cheese finally melt. Thicken this up. There we go. And set that down like that. These should be really good. Oh yeah, now we got some browning on there. I'm going to just put these peppers and onions and mushrooms right in this little plate here. And this is what I love about this pan. Like I said, this is my indestructible hard anodized pan. So you just add a little water to it like this. And just comes clean. For the most part, I just take it, wipe it clean with a towel, add a little bit more oil to it, boom, 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 and then in goes my steak. Start my steak right in the same pan. No need to get another pan out. Why get another pan dirty? All right, let me go over here and start working on my sauce. Now this provolone sauce is coming together really well. You just have to be gentle with it. Don't start sloshing it around. Just really be gentle with it. Oh, what a great... To be able to make your own provolone cheese, there's nothing like it. Get a nice sear on that steak. Okay, flip that over, look at that. Nice caramelization on that. Beautiful. Nice browning. You can see the crust that this builds. That's what I love about this pan as well. You can get a really great crust on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is while my provolone sauce is finishing, I've already made some before ahead of time. I have some here. I like to make a double batch so I can save some for later, and I can always reheat it. Because my kids, I can put that on pasta, I can put it on anything. I can put it on a little bit of fish or even, just some kind of meat. This is a fantastic cheese sauce that you can use on almost anything. So what I'm going to do is I've got my steak that I cooked a little bit earlier. Because I have a big family, so you don't just cook one steak. You cook a few steaks. So I'm going to slice this up. Look at that. Beautiful medium rare. That's what you want. Nice and thin. Perfect. Got my hoagie buns that I've toasted lightly. Toasted a nice hoagie bun. Put my slices of meat on there. Look at that. Just layer it on there. Be generous because this is supposed to be a nice, really nice thick sandwich there. Veggies. Put it right on top. There we go. And last but not least, some of the provolone sauce. Wow, look at that. Nothing better than that on a Sunday afternoon watching some football. There you go. And there you have it. This is my Sunday cheesesteak sandwich with homemade provolone sauce.